Doing? How are we? Is it good? Are we having a good time? Good to hear. Good to hear. Welcome to the program. Not really a program, more of a live stream. This will be a short one. Gonna only be an hour because I gotta interview British people. We are doing the final two interviews of our UK election special. I don't know why I decided to interview so many people for an election that I don't care about, but I did. I think it's gonna be fun, and we have our final two today. Oh, I love you, the Moto Mortician. Thank you.
Lay off my man.
He said, "Love you, J Dog." That's a bro.
Okay.
That's a bro move. That's a total bro move. Did you see our tiny little spoon? We have a Rolex spoon. Ashley's upstairs, by the way. I'm not just talking to myself.
Rolex spoon?
Yeah,
It's not like a.
It might be. It's tiny. It might be for Coke.
I feel like Coke spoons are smaller.
Well, look. Take a look.
Oh, it is a Rolex spoon.
Yeah. No, we can go right to calls if you want. We can go right to calls. Jacksonville Justin. Well, this is I wanted to be in the same outfit for the entire British special, and I thought it would just be really funny if I was in camo and an America hat. The Jury Celtics boat parade. I just hope that they take the easiest path for the parade, like they took to the championship. Just the easiest path where there's no actual like challenges, where everybody that they face is diminished, right? Just so all of the top stars are injured, and then they don't face either of the best two teams in the Western Conference. Just the easiest path. I feel like it would just bring together the entire season for their parade booth to be on the easy path. So there we go. All right. You want to know? We'll take calls. We'll take calls here. Don't call in just yet. I'm getting everything set up. Getting all these things set up. It doesn't count when there were 3 teams in the league and a bunch of plumbers were playing point guard. Just saying. Just saying. Only 2 championships since the Heat were in the league. Just, you know. No. He'd have more. Just so if we're just counting from, a modern standpoint. Okay. Sorry. Logged out on Skype for some reason. By the way, for those of you who would like to see for the first time ever on PX3, we have a presidential ticket. Mike Tremont and Chase Oliver of the Libertarian ticket. Chase Oliver is the presidential nominee. You can go ahead and see that. I guess somebody's been trying to fucking log into my account. Oh, these silly geese. Let's make a new password because some chuckle dingle is trying to fart on the funny side. Sorry for the very compelling stream, guys. But we will be up and running in just a moment. Yeah, my good lord. How many times do I gotta do a flip-flop on a ding-dong, huh? Yeah, jeez. Jeez, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right. I know.
Do you need wife?
No, no, no. There we go. All right, give us a call. 510 404 8030. Joe Biden doesn't have as much cash as Donald Trump anymore. That was a big deal for a minute. And then Donald Trump had more money. We will talk about that when we don't have calls, but we got a call right now, and his name is Mr. Merrill Barr. How you doing, buddy?
Gary, since we have wife today, I must ask you and wife a question.
Okay. Well, she is not on. She doesn't have speakers for the call, but I will relay a question to me and my wife. Yes.
Okay. Has a decision been made on whether or not Beller would be a wrestling fan? What would Beller's first wrestling show be, and will you have to do it in secret?
The question is for the child, now gestating in her Beller. What the first wrestling show would be and whether or not you would approve of it. My wife is doing Pilates in the other side of the room. What say you?
I don't know. I mean,
I think it's safe to say that you would not be upset if she were watching wrestling with me.
no, not at all.
No, she would not be
We need a
upset.
break.
Yeah.
Wife, let's break.
I would say, I don't know if I would take her to a wrestling show unless she was like really, really into it based on watching it on TV.
Yeah. She'd have to be super pumped about going.
I'm not I don't think that there's a lot of stuff aside from family related things that I have like a super hard on for, like, I got to share this with her immediately. There's like small things, but there's not like I got to take her to a place or I can't wait until this. Now maybe that'll change as she, is around, but that's the That's what it is now. Hood Slam at 12. Yeah, maybe maybe Hood Slam at at 12. She might be able to go to Hood Slam. I don't know.
Would you raise her in an anti WWE household though? AEW only in that house?
I no, that's so weird. Who's who's anti any wrestling? It's wrestling. Like this is not a big enough pie for people to be upset about it.
You'll just have to play her the Joe Hendry theme song before she goes to bed every night.
You know, the funny thing about Joe Hendry is that Ashley's talked to him a lot because he was a really early adopter on wrestling Twitch. He was a streamer for a long time. I don't know if he still streams. He might. Can
you give me the breakdown on that guy? Because I knew of him from the virality from April, right? It's when I discovered him, and then he had the big pop on Tuesday on NXT. Like, who is this guy? Because he seems really cool.
I'm not going to do a Wikipedia on Joe Hendry when you can just read the Wikipedia on Joe Hendry. But all I will say is that he's a very charismatic Scottish wrestler who was always a favorite on the indies and is extraordinarily creative and has gotten over by making parody songs of his opponents.
Okay. Now to pay the tax, one political question. What is your current prediction for Thursday?
Wait, hold on. Ashley wants to point out that Joe Hendry is also a very sweet guy.
Nice. All right, so who do you think is winning on Thursday? What's your big current prediction?
At the debate?
Yep.
So I will obviously be talking a lot more about this next week. I wrote a thing on Substack about the 3 ways that it can go, and the reasons why. I tend to, the more I roll it around, the more I don't know how many ways it goes great for Biden in a way that changes things. Like, will we be watching people in mainstream news saying that Joe Biden, I think he acquitted himself really well. Yes, no matter what happens, we're going to see that from that kind of reaction, unless there is a disaster, right? But I don't think there's going to be an absolute out and out disaster, although there's an opportunity for it. But I don't think that's going to be the case. What this to me really hinges on is whether or not it's just kind of a sloppy old man fest, at which point then nothing really matters and we just are at the status quo right now, or if Donald Trump is insane, at which point it is advantage Biden, or, and this is the scariest part that I think is the most underrated option, is we see the rise of Crump. He's crumping. He has a clown wig on, and he's crumping around. But Calm Trump is I think a bigger possibility than is being discussed. I don't know if it's going to happen, but the dude.
Given the perception of Trump, in like literally just the cultural consciousness on both sides, right? He's always used erratic on both sides. He would have, don't you think he would have to put on such a substantial performance to be portrayed to look like Crump that it just seems like the hurdles you'd have to jump are almost impossible no matter how much he tries. Like he has to overcome such a.
But remember, here's the things that nobody's fucking talking about. No audience, and you're not going to hear him talk over the mic when he's not talking. So you're going to get less of, like, if we're really breaking down, this might be a good way, breaking down why Trump is erratic. Let's not just say by vibes, right? Let's break down what it is. It's voice volume and interruptions. Those are the two biggest things. He's not going to be yelling because he's not going to have anyone to yell to. He's not going to be trying to reach the back row. And he's not going to be able to interrupt. The Biden campaign took away his ability to interrupt. So if you take away those two things, does he come off as erratic as he would if he was in a theater with a bunch of people that he's trying to play to and the mics are live? And you hear him every time he's like, wrong, incorrect, you're bad, Joe.
but hold on. When you say we won't be able to hear him and the mics will be off, I mean, do you not think that other mics wouldn't pick him up and just hear him faintly in the background?
Yeah, but not as much. All right, then yeah, faintly. Then the interruptions will be, however, less in audio that's the case. I think that is a movement that you are taking away the things that we define as erratic for Trump. Like, as a screenwriter, you can't just say he's a sinister person.
Yeah.
They've got to be doing a sinister thing, or they have to look sinister, or you have to meet them in a shadowy bar. There are things that make our perceptions. There are building blocks that make what we think. And two of the things that make Trump erratic in a debate is that he's yelling and he interrupts a lot. Both of those things will be less because of decisions that were made to make this possible. It won't be in front of people, and the mics are going to be muted.
Where do you put the odds that this goes so bad for Biden that he drops out of the race?
Come on, Meryl. Let's get there before, like, now we're doing a hypothetical on a hypothetical. We're saying hypothetically. I guess I won't answer that question. I will answer this. What would have to happen for that to be the discourse is like a straight out Mitch McConnell freeze. If he just kind of freezes or a few times, and this is, again, the strategy for both players is to let the other guy talk. You go ahead. Yeah, no, you go ahead. So I think that would be it. It would be something that just out and out shows cognitive decline.
Okay. All right, man. You have a good weekend.
All right. See you later.
See ya.
The Boys season 4 will say it because they're basically Jimmy Kimmel now. All right, hold on. Let me say this about The Boys. So I watched the first 2 episodes. I don't know if the next 2 episodes are out. The thing that offended me the most was not their political commentary, because at the very least, they gave an understanding to the character that was the most offensive for it. The most offensive thing was that they totally bitched out Starlight's character so they could invent a new superhero that has a backstory with her. Like, the whole point of her character is that she is pure and she has been a part of toxic systems, first with her mother, then with Vought. And then to justify this new character, they're like, oh no, but also you were a bitch. It's like, wait, hold on. You're not even going to make Starlight say, like, well, my mom kept saying it, and so I just repeated it. I hated it in the moment, and I feel so terrible. And she didn't remember her. I don't know. That was the most offensive part of The Boys. I just think the best thing about The Boys is you get a Boys episode every single time that you turn it on. It's going to be graphic violence, a little bit further than you'd think, nudity and sexual content.
Human centipede.
Yeah, there's a human centipede, a multiple man human centipede. But at a certain point, it's like, I don't know. Do I want Meatloaf? How many times do I want Meatloaf? Good people famously did cruel things in middle school. I'm not saying that nobody ever fucking does it. I'm saying that the point of that character is a certain thing. If you're going to change that backstory, then there should be a reason that affects it. If you don't, then it's just writing. It's just the writer dragging the characters around for the point of the writer. The writer didn't want to give a reason why this new enemy of Starlight hates Starlight. So they just took, like the Celtics, took the easy path to the to just make it work. Some people just don't want to struggle and hustle, like like that writer and the Boston Celtics. We got a wife over here.
Stink.
We got a wife over here. Get your mic over there.
Hi.
Hi.
Ooh. Ooh. Pregnant.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
It's really it's getting a little harder to
Move.
move.
It's getting harder and harder
Cycling-
to breathe.
Cycling hasn't been too bad. I'm
Yeah?
just maintaining the same thing that I've been doing. So that's been fine. It's my training for labor, my cardio training.
Yeah.
But
Is labor cardio intensive? I guess it is.
it's everything intensive. You're getting a call, I think.
Oh, are we? Well, I'm not going to take it because you can't hear it.
I mean, you can take it.
Well, but then
But
you
you can
Then I'm
relay.
going to have two different conversations with two different people. That's not good.
Anyway, I can't feel anything in my belly.
Why
It
not?
makes it hard because somebody's in the way
Oh, okay, yeah. You can feel
on
her.
the side.
You
on
can
the
feel.
side,
You can feel. Yeah.
I can't feel the front.
You have a beller full of jeller.
A belly full of jeller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can feel her move in the front more than I can, unless she kicks really hard.
Yeah. I can feel her rolling around.
Yeah.
We finally saw her face.
Yes. It's squished. Yeah. It's up against the glass.
Yeah.
So I put it on the fridge to remind you. This is your daughter.
I know.
Your ungrateful daughter.
No, she's very grateful. I woke her up yesterday.
She's just chilling, taking a nap or something. She wasn't moving
know.
around for a while.
And then I yelled.
He
into your
yelled
belly.
right into my stomach and woke her up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good.
No, it wasn't.
Pretty good.
No.
Pretty funny. What's on your mind, wife?
Not a lot. I mean, look for jobs. I mean, shower right now because I was on the bike and then Pilates.
You were stanking.
Also, I didn't mind the Starlight thing as much as you did. That's why I came over.
Oh, you wanted to stick up for Starlight?
Yeah, I'm one with the one. I have a yellow sign.
You're a Starlighter?
I'm a Starlighter.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I agree that it was like lazy writing, though.
Yeah.
It's lazy writing. I don't think it, even for her character, I don't think being a mean girl in pageant world is surprising.
I guess it's like, but it didn't mean anything. Like that
Yeah.
moment should mean something. If we find out an element of, if and I don't know, we don't know where the season goes, so maybe this is the first pebble that will, build a little
Yeah.
castle. But like, if Starlight's arc this season is that there is no good side, and so she becomes disconnected from the idea that there's purity in the world, and maybe everything that she's fought for is stupid, and maybe she should have been cynical like her mom, she should have been cynical like Homelander, because that's the reason, like, that's like, at least they got stuff done. Here
Yeah.
she's just floundering around and she's unhappy. Like, then the idea that it's like, oh, I forgot, I buried in my past that I was a bitch to this lady, blah 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 blah. Then that I guess I still think that it's a little bit of a whiplash for her character, but at least I get the story.
Yeah.
God,
We'll see.
you want to know what had the exact same story spread out over 3 episodes? That Ren Fair doc. Barf.
We'll probably still finish it, though.
We did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
I guess we definitely slept through
we
the
slept
last
through the
episode.
end. Yeah, we slept through the end because it was boring.
Well, don't spoil how it ends.
Who cares how it ends? It was dumb.
I figured it would be good because you're a Ren Fair boy. Or you're a what was it called? Paladin Society, boy.
That's it. Yep, you got it. South Plantation High School Paladin Society. I believe still going.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm trying to send a link to.
I'm looking at the chat. Jerry Maris liked the Ren Fair doc.
I didn't. I thought it was so slow.
Your
I
first
thought
complaint.
it was so slow.
Your first complaint is that it was too well shot to be believable.
Well, that true. That's the real of it. It's just you can't shoot it like it's a drama and then expect any of the like human elements of it to feel real. It just feels staged. Everything felt staged.
Yeah.
And then in the big moment that, you know, one of the dudes that you're following, he gets fired, they didn't do that with like a big thing because they had overshot everything. So the one real moment they have to have happen as if you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
When it's like, no, the way that you shot it, you could have just recreated everything. And the other thing is like, you can tell that they recreated everything because all of their shots are like very tight. It's like just people's faces, which is a lot easier to recreate than big, wide middle shots where a bunch of people are moving around. That's hard to recreate.
Yeah. I don't know. The TLDR on the doc, it's people kind of arguing or fighting for who's going to take over the Ren Fair.
The Texas Ren Fair,
when the guy retires, which I guess I don't know how it ends, so maybe I'll never know.
Yeah.
I was very tired.
I actually thought they squandered a lot of interesting stuff there because they focused almost exclusively on the Texas Renaissance Festival like it's this small little regional thing, which it is, but Renaissance fairs, the reason why somebody clicks on that link is because they've had some connection to a Renaissance fair. They've either gone to one, they've seen videos of one, they either love it or they mock it, but they have some kind of relationship to it. So like, give us a little bit of a backstory of like how much of a part of the modern American Renaissance fair culture this guy has, because I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's pretty significant. But now if he's the progenitor of what is essentially a modern American circus, because that's what it is, it's a lot of these guys are a touring company that go from city to city and stay there for a month, but they're also kind of carny folks. They're gypsies going from town to town. That's fascinating. Spend a little bit more time with them.
It's been cool to get more of a flavor of what it is, actual fair was.
And they
don't really get it.
they also needed a Michael Bluth. They needed a straight man to walk in there and be like, what the fuck is this? Because that's the other thing. Like, if you have a silly thing, it's only as silly as you can make it fun.
Is the Ren Fair drama equal to the Dragon Con drama? I don't know.
The Dragon Con. Well, the Dragon Con.
Well, Dragon Con drama was
that was
illegal.
Yeah,
that was a big.
I don't even want to
Let's not talk
speculate
about that.
off the top of my head because I don't want to say anything illegal. We don't know shit for the record, but like it was a child thing. It was some child.
There was
thing.
a child thing, I think, with one of the
heads.
owners or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, do not know. Do not know. Ooh.
You getting kicked?
Yeah.
You want to do the kick counts live on the stream?
No, because then I have to sit here longer.
Yeah.
If she doesn't move enough. Surprisingly, she doesn't move while I'm on the bicycle, but I think maybe that just kind of like lulls her into submission. Ugh. But yeah. I know we still haven't done the Austin Ren Fair. We need to. I feel like every time I think about it, it just ended. I would like to do that though. We can bring Le Petit Honk to the Ren Fair next year. I think it's spring, right? It's in the spring.
Is it?
I don't know.
I think it might be in
always
the
miss
fall
it.
here. In Florida, it's in the spring. In Florida, it was always around my birthday. It was in March. But that's when the weather's still pretty nice in Florida.
Yeah, but fall here's hot.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
outside of the city, it's not terrible.
They're saying it's in the spring.
Oh, it's in the spring. Okay.
Just ended. See, we miss it. We miss it every time.
Yeah.
Every time we think about it.
Maybe.
I
I,
like
don't
that-
know.
I like that these pants come over my
she'll
belly.
be 6 months old.
Yeah, that's old enough. Old enough to put her in cutesy shit.
She won't be fresh out the kitchen.
No.
Like we saw some babies at Disney World that were like fresh out the kitchen.
I would not want to bring a child that young. Like 6 months is good, because by then you can give them all their shots. All the stuff is kind of like kicked in.
Mm-hmm. they're a
Especially
little-
since like things like whooping cough are starting to go around again. It's like I don't want her
Yeah.
in big crowds until she's vaxxed up.
They're a little sack of potatoes.
A little sack of potatoes that poops a lot.
I don't get the people that bring babies to Disney. Yeah. So I know some people that are like local to Orlando that are like stay-at-home moms and they have Disney passes, and so for them it was like I don't
If
know.
you have like annual passes, like it's
Yeah.
it's
roll
someplace.
in, roll out. You go to
Yeah.
two things. You see Elsa, and then get the hell out. You're back at home by dinner. Yeah, but
I might do that if we're visiting family in Orlando. Like if we were to go visit family in Orlando, and we decided we want to go to Epcot, that's fine. You just roll the kid around. They got facilities there. We get to have a good time.
I think
and
our
the kid's
child-
not gonna care.
I think our child might be a Universal kid because Universal's got the new park.
Yeah,
They're-
never been to Universal.
Ooh, it's good. Wait, hold on. Really?
We've never gone together. No, I don't have a reason to go.
I guess.
And I mostly just like doing Epcot for all the like little food stuff around the
I
world.
know. I guess I've just wound up going. I think I've wound up going with Brett more because periodically there would be like Go Game stuff in Orlando, and we could just go.
Well, also like Brian's done stuff there, so I know like for Horror Nights or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Halloween Horror Nights is a staple. That's
Yeah.
a big deal. I was definitely spoiled going with Brian because Brian can skip all the lines, and Halloween Horror Nights is actually fun if you can skip all the lines. If you have to wait 3 hours in a line so you can go walk through a haunted house that takes you about 15 minutes, it is annoying, especially if the haunted houses aren't great. And some of them are really good, some of them are not as good, and boy, does it suck when one of them's not as good. That being said, no, they have a new. So, Islands of Adventure was the park of my adolescence because that opened when I was but a lad, venturing off on our own. And then, which is funny because there's a bunch of pictures. I have a picture of the first time that Anthony and I went to Islands of Adventure together by ourselves. This was like a big deal, right? Unfortunately, there are no pictures of us together because we were just taking pictures of each other doing dumb shit in the park because we're boys and we're like why would we ever want a picture of both of us to commemorate
Together.
this forever? And now it's like because we're both gonna have kids within 3 weeks of each other. We both decided to wait until we were in our 40s to have kids, and now like this is all this like symmetry thing, and it'd be really really funny if there was a picture of the two of us like at Universal when we were like but fresh faced lads. No pictures.
Fucked up.
Done, fucked up. But now, so they've since done the Harry Potter stuff, which their worlds are awesome. The two best immersive worlds in theme park existence, in my opinion, are Avatar in Animal Kingdom and Diagon Alley in Universal. Those are like amazing. They are really, really, really good. They're extraordinarily well done. They very much feel like a different kind of place. It helps that Pandora is like a big sweaty planet. So when you're in big sweaty Orlando, it's like, wow, I'm really here. Diagon Alley obviously is supposed to be a little bit chillier, but it's really, really, really well done. And they do a great job with spatial awareness. And so now they're doing Epic Universe, which is like they have a monsters world, like their old monsters, the Universal monsters. So they got like a crazy ride with that. They've got Nintendo World, which is going to be awesome. They already have a smaller version of it in LA, but Universal's
I have friends that have gone to that.
Yeah, but Universal's not going to fuck it up like Disney did and decide to make the small one that they have to make small. Like they did like Star Wars. You okay?
It's just startling.
Yeah.
Well, no, like I don't feel the kicks up here, but her head's on the bottom now. So I think her head's just like slamming down.
Yeah. Poop Tempest. No love for Galaxy's Edge. No, I don't like Galaxy's Edge. I think Galaxy's Edge is probably like
It's so freaking small.
it's like a 15% effort on what you could have done with Star Wars. Number one, I don't want to be in the shitty planet that the main character wants to leave. I want to be at the place that the main character goes to in the rest of the movie. Why do we want to build an entire world that's about the craggy desert shithole that you want to leave?
I was just happy that they could make alcoholic blue milk. That was cool.
Yeah.
That's about it. I will say the vegan options are great in Galaxy's Edge.
Disney's usually really good
but
at that. But also, you've never had alcoholic butterbeer. You never had a rum floater and a butterbeer.
I probably can't have butterbeer.
I don't know. Is butterbeer vegan? That's a great.
Probably not.
Galaxy's Edge isn't on Jakku. It's on Batu. It doesn't matter. Look, that's another problem about the creative bankruptcy of Star Wars is that all of these desert planets feel the exact same. There's literally nothing that differentiates Tatooine from Jakku, from Batu, from Fartmouth. Like, they're all the exact same crappy desert planet, and nobody's put any time or effort to think about why they're different. Anyway, the problem is that
our daughter can go when she's 6 months, and she'll just be along for the ride.
Well, she'll be a little.
She won't know what's going on.
We will be in Orlando a lot.
Yeah.
So she will wind up going to theme parks more often than the average bear.
Yeah.
But we'll see. She'll want to do. Oh, and there's a lot of water parks. Wet n Wild. Although we will actually probably have a reason to go to Schlitterbahn, which is just north of here. I've heard is really good. Yeah.
Big water park here.
Yeah.
Schlitterbahn.
Disney should have made a Star Wars park, Hoth section, Tatooine section, Endor section. Yeah, in Disney World they should have, because you have nothing but space.
I thought it was south of us.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Oh, it's south of ours. Yeah, it's in New Braunfels. Sorry, I don't know directions.
And also, I'm going to keep her out of the Hall of Presidents because I don't want her to be around when her father gets kicked out for shenanigans at the Hall of Presidents.
There's nothing that I would do that violates the rules. Nothing that I do violates the rules at the Hall of Presidents. Never.
You cause wars.
I can't help it. I can't help it if sometimes people get a little spicy on their own. All I'm doing is cheering very loudly for William Henry Harrison. My black card is perfectly legal.
One of these days, and thank God we're not going to be going through Hall of Presidents right before the election. I feel like one of these days, if you do that, you're legitimately going to start a fight. Like somebody's going to be yelling at each other and get.
Well, unfortunately, I won't be able to go back to Disney to the Hall of Presidents before this election.
Thank
Because
God.
that would be the time. They might actually have to just shut it down.
Yeah.
Just because, especially with Trump and Biden running,
Yeah.
like now it's going to be a referendum. If you start the, God, can I go?
No.
Now I really want to do it.
No.
God damn it.
Send them all. Send them all in. Have
All
them record
right.
it for you.
PX3 Army. If you or someone you love is going to Disney World, you need to go to the Hall of Presidents and you need to cheer for a shitty president. And you have to have a couple people do it, spread out into the audience so it seems natural. But you want to get all these yokels all fired up about the idea that they need to cheer for their favorite president because then there's going to be a fight. We definitely got, the last time we went there, it was the best reaction because they had to turn on the spotlight and yell at people, and they came over the loudspeaker and said, "No booing."
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I had never heard them do that before.
Me either. We're slowly tearing apart the social fabric. How did the United States fall? Well, it began at the Hall of Presidents, the first seam that had come undone, leading to a full tear of social order.
All right. I'm going to go downstairs and eat breakfast and maybe shower because I'm gross. Also, sitting like this and, my cervix getting rammed is very startling. So I'm going to
Yeah.
stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, my pregnant, lovely wife. Everybody, big round of applause.
Very pregnant.
Big round of applause.
Annoyingly pregnant. Ugh. How do I get up?
A 17-year-old kid yelling at adults who are booing wax presidents is peak madness. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. All right. Ding, 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 da, ding, da, ding, ding. I think we have room for 2 more calls, and then I got to get the hell off here and do an interview. So if you're going to call in right now. 510-404-8030. I'm talking about 510-404-8030. If you call on in right now, well, you can talk about any kind of politics you'd actually ever want to. Wilson wouldn't get booed if his bridge didn't suck. Merrill has already called in. Today's PX3 isn't in the free feed yet. What the fuck? Man, I'll tell you what. Sometimes I wonder whether or not I'm good at this job. Hello, who's this?
Hey, just another pilot.
What up, dog?
Not much, brother. So I was listening to your podcast, and I was curious, the amount of money being spent in those 4 states you highlighted,
Yeah.
is that to combat the narrative we hear a lot, Trump doesn't help out Republicans? Because it does kind of feel like he switched hit on that a little bit.
Sorry, say that again.
There was a narrative in 2020, 2022 that Trump just wouldn't help other Republicans. He was keeping the money for himself. The amount of money that's being spent now, is that to create the image?
No, well, this is not.
Republican?
Yeah, this is the senatorial committee. So this is not something that Donald Trump controls.
Okay. Yeah, and I noticed you said it was mostly private funded too. So I
Well, I mean, private funded in that it's the senatorial committee. So the senatorial committee raises a bunch of money. This is like, all the senators who are in safe seats still raise money and then kick into this fund. That fund tries to raise the majority so the majority can do more. So this doesn't really have much to do with Trump. The big thing with that in the 4 states, if I remember correctly, are Nevada, Arizona,
Arizona,
Michigan,
Vegas.
and what was the 4th? That one? Oh, Ohio.
yeah.
And 2 of them just need name recognition. One of them, they need to do damage control because Kerry Lake's a kook. And Michigan is just, it's probably the pivotal battleground. Michigan and Pennsylvania are big, big, big battlegrounds.
Okay. Is it at some point this game is going to get closer to being done. Is there a point where you can say to yourself, we're not trying anymore? Like, what are the signs that we should look at that they're going to spend some money a couple months from now and it's not working? When are we going to know that it's working or not working?
Spell that one out a little bit more. What are you talking about?
So we're going to blow money on these areas to try to increase your chances of winning, right?
Oh, we're talking about the Senate still.
Yeah, Senate still.
Okay.
So you spend a bunch of money in these areas, try to get the numbers up so that you do a better job of competing. And at some point, it always happens every year, they take the money and they dump it somewhere else, and they move on. When does that happen? Because you've got to have all your money spent before October.
Yeah.
I remember from 2 years ago. So we're gearing up right now. At what point do they?
I don't think that's. I don't think that that's a great framework to look at it because, right now, everything's rosy on the presidential side for the Republicans, but things are not great on the Senate side. There was a raft of Emerson polling that came out yesterday that had Donald Trump leading in all the swing states, including Minnesota, but it had all of the senatorial candidates down, some of them by pretty hefty margins. So they are going to have to spend a lot. And what I would assume is that you're going to see a lot of expenditures. If you're in one of those states, you're going to see a lot of like, here's me, here's my story kinds of ads, especially in Nevada. Because, Sam Brown is running against Jackie Rosen. Sam Brown is somebody who has a tremendous story, hit by an IED. He's got visible burns all over his face still, but he's got to, you got to tell that story. You got to get out there. Right now, you have a lot of first-time candidates that are running against seasoned incumbents, including in some of the safer seats like Montana.
Well, I'm just looking for signposts. It'll be exciting. You looking forward to the debate?
Hell yeah, dog. This is what fucking gets me out of bed.
Geared up. Hey, do you guys try the magnesium for Ash? Help with those cramps? Or the Charlie horses?
I don't know if she's taking magnesium, but
you might have. If she keeps getting
she fucking won't hydrate. Like no matter what I tell her, she, thank God she's not.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
But she just she just won't hydrate. She needs to hydrate more.
Well, then
she needs to be a hydro homie.
Yeah. Hydro homie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brother. You take it easy. I'll talk to you later.
See you, dog. Peace. On Monday, we saw Biden clips, and it's wild how different he is now versus then. What shocked me was how much faster he was in 2000. I thought he was slow then. Compared to now, he was not. He was definitely not. Did Donald Trump erase Joe Biden's cash advantage? Yes, indeed. Sorry about the episode, by the way. Our libertarian episode now in the free feed for the podcast. My bad. This in Politico. Trump's fundraising while he was on trial in New York, punctuated in the final days when he was convicted, was enough to surpass the incumbent Democrat when it comes to campaign cash. Trump's campaign had $116 million in the bank at the end of May, compared to $91.6 million for Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Our last call here. Hello, who's this?
Justin, it's the Buck.
What up, dude? How you doing?
Well, just sitting here and, enjoying the, it's been a long time, Justin. It's been, let's see, it's today. It's been 4 days since since Boston's won a championship.
Damn, I'm sorry. We had some technical difficulties. The internet, man, you never know. You never know when the internet's going to work and when it's not going to work. Let's go ahead and get back to the story here. It wasn't due to poor fundraising on the incumbent's part. Biden's campaign saw a decent fundraising. The number you have called is not in service. Sorry, guys. Sorry. The latest campaign finance filings with the Federal Election Commissions also revealed how Biden has continued to build out his campaign apparatus while Trump has largely held on to his cash. Down ballot races are also heating up. So here we go. Trump's campaign and the Republican National Committee said that they raised $141 million in May, a figure that... hold on. Sorry, guys. Hello?
All right, enough of that. Two things. One, the Realtree in Texas, like you're just going full Texan with the Realtree now?
I'm doing our UK special. I'm recording interviews for our UK special, and I thought it'd be really funny if the entire special I was wearing an America hat and a camo shirt.
Yeah, no, that works. It's not a Hitler. It's the Frank Zappa. The mustache and the soul patch. If anybody gives you a Hitler stuff, just say, no,
I don't know. I didn't see the Hitler at all, ever. But also
No,
now I've dyed it pretty
maybe-
thick, so...
Yeah, maybe a little at the beginning. You know, we're in such a weird political, as you know better than anybody, we're in such a weird political time right now that people are just going to look for anything that they can spot. But no, it's Zappa, dude. Just give them that, and then if they don't know who Zappa is, I don't know. I can't help you. But
No, I don't know. I think it looks good. It's funny, when I'm at the gym, I look like an old timey strongman. Because I have my I have my little tank top on. I'm just like hey. I just wish that they had like old style super round barbells.
yeah, exactly. You go good. Listen to jazz. You'll be all set. You're ready.
Yeah, that's
You're
it.
ready to go.
That's it.
All right, be good, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, dog. Congratulations on your cheater championship. Bye. Fucking Celtics. Fucking whatever. Easy path. Hey. All right. All right. So Trump's campaign and the Republican National Committee said that they raised $141 million in May, a figure that included significant fundraising boost after the former president's criminal conviction on hush money charges. The full breakdown behind that number won't be available until mid-July, when Trump's joint fundraising committees file their own reports. But the former president's campaign filing Tuesday shows a significant surge in the final 2 days of the month, the day that the jury handed down the guilty verdict. Just looking at large dollar donations, the campaign reported receiving at least 6 times as many daily donations over those 2 days compared to the typical day. And the fundraising spike was likely even greater, considering that doesn't include the unitemized donations of less than $200 or any donation to the joint fundraising that has not yet been transferred. In total, Trump's campaign and the RNC reported over $170 million cash on hand at the end of May, overtaking Biden and the Democratic National Committee, which reported just shy of 157. The pro-Trump super PAC, Make America Great Again, Inc., raised nearly $70 million in May, but the bulk of that total was a single $50 million donation from Timothy Mellon, a longtime GOP donor. Super PAC also received $5 million each from Richard and Elizabeth Uihlein, longtime GOP mega donors. They are the people who do the U-line office supplies stuff. Biden's operation says it raised $85 million in May across his campaign. So that's more than what Trump raised. Trump outraised Biden the month before that at like $70 million to $57 million. This is a good number for Biden. It's just not the bonkers magonkers number that Trump had. But the president's campaign spent more than $30 million up from the 25 million it spent in the month before. All right. And there's Politico saying that part of this is that Biden is spending more on his infrastructure. So that's what I was looking for. I was looking for what the May numbers are. I was surprised that Biden didn't tout 87 million. 87 million is really impressive. It's not 141 million, but that's a Looney Tunes number. That's a crazy number. That's a silly number. That's a number that you should be hitting yourself with a mallet for. In May, Biden outspent Trump on ads 15-1. The question is on what and for what. Somebody asked in the Discord before, what's with all the Biden now leading in the polls stuff? And I will show you what that is. Let's take a look at realclearpolitics.com. Boop. This is what we're talking about. The last several polls have shown Biden doing better in national head-to-head polling. That is good. You would rather be up 1 or 2 than down 1 or 2. So I don't want to take anything away from this. And it does show that, especially in some of these, very large sample size polls, that Biden is up. According to the RCP average, Donald Trump is still up 0.5. But if this trend continues, I would expect that to narrow, if not eclipse. Here's the problem, though. Swing states, nothing has really moved. And 5 wide, you have seen better numbers for Biden. But in general, Trump is still up by more in the 5 wide voting, or 5 wide polling. So that includes Kennedy, West, and Stein. So that means that you are, on average, nationally, seeing that the third-party candidates tend to eat into Biden than they eat into Trump. But, of course, we don't elect anybody. We don't elect anybody on a popular vote. We elect people on the swing states. So let's take a look at the swing states. Arizona. This is head-to-head. Trump up 4.6. Georgia, head-to-head. And again, head-to-head is better for Biden than not head-to-head. Trump up 4. Let's look at this. No. On average, Trump up 5. Nevada. Trump 5.7, but that's that New York Times Siena poll that was like super ding dong crazy. But then again, the Times Siena is one of the best pollsters that there are. So, okay, here, this is a better way to look at it. Wisconsin, Trump up 3. Arizona 4.6. Nevada. What are we doing? Come on. Here we go. Let's take a look at Pennsylvania. Trump up 2.3. And when we look at the good pollster here, that's nearly exactly what is there. Wisconsin. Narrow Trump lead. But it would probably be a little bit more if there weren't an outlier poll here from Quinnipiac with Biden up 6. And then finally, let's take a look at this. Is like you fucked. If you don't win Minnesota, if Joe Biden can't win Minnesota, like Walter Mondale won Minnesota, then you busted. Right now, that's Biden up 3, according to the RCP average. So, Tony Fabrizio, Tony Fabrizio, who is Trump's pollster, said, post-conviction, you might see nationally Biden gain, but their polling did not show anything changing in the swing states. And thus far, that's what we've seen. Will it continue to go? Well, Joe Biden has a brand new ad that highlights Donald Trump being a convicted criminal and not felon, convicted criminal, not felon. I don't know why they went with criminal, not felon, but and that Joe Biden is working for you. While Donald Trump is in jail, Joe Biden is working for you. RFK Jr. is going to hurt Trump for sure. I don't know. I mean, it's going to depend state by state. All right, guys, I got to interview British people. I love you. I will talk to you soon. See ya.